Hey everybody, this is Tammy at All About Living. Tonight we are going to make collard greens. Okay, now we're going to get started on these collard greens. First thing you need to know is that you need to wash these things individually, every single one, front and back, a couple of times. Because inevitably, there is still going to be some sand or there is still going to be a bug, okay? Unless you're into the new wave bug eating stuff, you got to wash collard greens, turnips, mustard, any of it. You got to wash it 2 or 3 times and make sure that there's no sand or little critters in there. Alright, now, so for ease of this video, I went ahead and started, but I'm going to show you what I did to this stack. Alright, to me and to my granny, the stem here makes collards bitter. So I cut them all out. If they're big and hunky like that, I cut them out. And then I stack my collard. And then I go on to the next one. I cut that out. And then I stack it. I cut. And I stack it. That little one doesn't have a big one in it. I leave it go. That one's, well, let's cut that out. That's kind of chunky at the bottom, so we'll cut that out. And just lay it up there. That's little itty bitty, it can stay. You see, there's always a little buggy hole. It's okay that the little critter ate some. We're not going to worry about that. We're not going to cut that out. We're going to eat that green. Okay. Last one. You just cut right down that center and take that stem out. Now you're going to take about 4 or 5, just to get you a little nice little roll, and whatever side is the biggest, that's where you start. And then you're going to roll it like you were, just roll it up. And then you're going to take your knife and you're going to start over here and you're going to cut it in little thin strips, just like that. Okay, everybody, this was like one bundle. And for Randy and I, you know, I'm only feeding 2 people. 1 bundle is sufficient. But this does cook way down. I mean, it's like any other green, like kale or spinach. It's going to cook way, way down. Not quite as bad as spinach, but it does cook down. Now, if you're feeding 4 or 6 or more, I would figure 1 bundle for every 2 people, maybe 3. But that's about as far as you could go off of a regular grocery store bundle. By the time you cut everything out, this is what 1 bundle is going to look like. Okay, to get started with our collard greens, you're going to need some fat. I'm going to use bacon fat. It's probably about 4 ounces, but if you had, you know, a ham hock or some ham fat or I don't know, neck bones, it really doesn't matter. As long as you got some kind of fat for your greens, that's what you need. So it's probably about 4 ounces of cut up little pieces of bacon that I'm going to render before I put these in the pot. And then I got a little bit of sugar. We're probably going to use about, I don't know, 2 tablespoons of sugar. We'll go from there. Randy likes them really sweet and I don't. So we kind of have to hit it in the middle. You're going to need some pepper flakes. He likes more of that. I like less. We got to hit it in the middle. Kosher salt and pepper. That's it. That's your ingredient list. That's what makes Southern cooking. You use what you got and you use minimal ingredients. And so let's get on over to the stove and I'll show you how to put it together. All right, we're gonna get this stove on and we're gonna put it on medium-high heat. We're gonna put this pot on here and we're gonna let that pot get hot. We want that pot hot before we put anything in it because I don't want no sticking. My pan's good and hot. And I'm just gonna drop my bacon in there. Hear that sizzle? That means my pot was hot enough. And I'm not gonna have sticky issues. Now we're just gonna let that render down. And we'll be right back. Alright, we're just gonna do this. You just wiggle that around, make sure it's not sticking. And then just let it keep rendering. Don't get too excited or jump the gun. Just let it render. Okay, let's get this stirred. Get it stirred up a little bit. And it's browning a little. You see all those little brown bits in there? So it is ready. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add maybe a 1/4 cup of water. Not much. I'm not boiling my collards. I'm not boiling my collards. But I do want some steam in there and I don't want them to stick and burn. So now I'm going to put my collards in here. I'm going to put some sugar. Like I said, I'm just going to go like that. It's probably 1/4 cup. I would start with that. I'm going to put my kosher salt. I'm going to put some pepper. And I'm going to take a pinch, which is maybe a 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. And we're going to drop that in there. We're going to give that a good stir. That's good enough for now. We're going to put that lid on there. Now we're just going to turn it down to medium-low. Yep. There you go. And we're just going to let it sit for 20 minutes and then we'll check it and see how we're doing. All right. We're going to check on our collards. It's been 20 minutes. Okay, you can tell that the water's evaporated out of here. And they're soft and they're tender. So we're going to give them a taste to check our seasoning. And just hold that thought. Okay. To my liking, most people at this point, they'd be fine. But I'm going to add another tablespoon of sugar. And then when I go to the table, I'll cut me up a little bit of onion and I'll eat my collards with some onion. But they are done. Delicious. Okay, for some people, this might not be soft enough. I mean, if you're used to a real loose consistency like spinach or something, then you'll feel like this needs cooked a little longer. But it's all a matter of preference, so it's entirely up to you. Same thing with the salt, same thing with the sugar. You don't have to add meat. You could just cook it in butter. I don't know what that would taste like, but you could do it. I don't know how else to explain it, you know, just make them your own. But this is how I do it. It's how my granny did it, her granny before her. It's just you know, here in the South, collards are easy to grow. You can grow them from early fall, you know, start them in early fall and you'll have collards all the way through to late spring. The only time that they're like super bitter is in the summer. And most collards here, if you leave them alone and you don't cut it completely off, you can just pick the leaves and you just go around plant to plant picking the bottom leaves off, and it'll just keep right on growing and you'll keep right on having collard greens. Probably why they're so popular. I mean, that was a cheap food. And if you like what you saw, you know, y'all just come back and see me. I'll have something else on here next time. See you later. Bye.